Farigiraf, a very infamous Pokemon. This only came out in Scarlet and Violet as the much-needed evolution of Girafarig. Despite it only being in one generation, this Pokemon has become a mainstay in Trick Room teams. It's not a killer, but it's a very awesome support. Information I'm going to discuss is relevant to the meta of August 2026. So let's discuss what makes this a awesome support and what can we do about it. To start with, this menace has the same base HP as a Basculegion. Meaning that you just need to put 2 points into it and it will give you 195 health. Followed by its 110 special attack, which can reach 178 with a modest or quiet nature. The base 60 speed for Trick Room is passable with a quiet nature. It can reach 72. It's not the slowest, but it will outspeed quite a few. When Trick Room is up, of course. They either use a citrus berry to leverage that HP stat, or a mental herb to shake off taunt. Its typing is normal and psychic. This is kind of unique. Unique enough to fit for Farigiraf's niche, of course. This combination grants us only 2 weakness, that is to Bug and Dark for double damage. It resists Psychic. It is also immune to Ghost. So it's kind of neutral. It's good that it has a few weaknesses, but it's kind of bad that it only has a single resistance and a single immunity. Farigiraf, despite having 3 abilities, only uses 1 out of the 3, and that is Armor Tail. It essentially blocks any priority moves on Farigiraf and its partner, making it the perfect fit for Trick Room teams, seeing as priority moves are one of the only few things that can be used to counteract Trick Room. So no pranksters, no fake out, no sucker punch, all rendered useless in front of Farigiraf. This Pokemon comes in 2 flavors. The Trick Room Setter or the non-Trick Room Setter, which is primarily a deterrent for priority moves. Non-Trick Room Setters usually accompany fast Pokemon to prevent them from being domed with Fake Out or Sucker Punch. We don't need to go into much detail with this variant, as you can just hit them with its weakness a couple of times and call it a day. Yeah. Of course, it's oversimplifying it. The thing is, you don't have a timer, unlike the Trick Room variant. Just to give us an idea of how large the HP stat of Farigiraf is, I can just tell you it can tank a couple of hits, which on turn 1 guarantees it firing off a Trick Room. It is immune to Fake Out, and would sometimes carry a mental herb to stop taunt. It could also do Citrus Berry, as it will make it hard to 2-hit KO this Pokemon. To give some anecdotes, I've hit many Farigirafs with my Mega Frostlass Blizzard and my Lucian Typhlosion's Eruption. Most of the time, that Pokemon will tank the first hit, be down to 40%, eat the berry, tank the second hit, and survive to set up a Trick Room. Now, I've mentioned Trick Room multiple times. So what makes Trick Room so scary? Because I see a couple of people ask in Facebook groups, Discord, or other places where we do Pokemon Champions tips and tricks. While they are confused why they get outsped by Torkoal. And the quick answer is Trick Room reverses the turn order, making slower Pokemon attack first for 5 rounds. In fact, the Trick Room team centers its strategy around setting up Trick Room and having a bunch of slow, hard-hitting, tanky Pokemon knock out the opposition before their timer runs out. The caveat is that Trick Room is a negative priority move. In fact, it's the slowest priority at -7. This means that it will always go last in turn order, giving the opponent to identify that he's running too many slow Pokemon. He must have a Trick Room setter, and attack the Pokemon that is known to have Trick Room. For our case, it's Farigiraf. That's why the most seasoned of Trick Room team users would have a Pokemon to keep the Trick Room setter safe, like Incineroar. So you can see the how the tables have turned. Farigiraf would keep fast Pokemon safe from priority moves, and Incineroar would keep a Trick Room setting Farigiraf safe to set up Trick Room. So the dichotomy is there with the two different types of Farigirafs. Anyways, to summarize this for new players, it is kind of hard for new players because they need to identify if it is Trick Room team, then they have one turn to neutralize the Trick Room setter, or else they get swept by fast, tanky, and hard-hitting Pokemon. Now, it's not the end of the world when you get into a Trick Room. It will depend on your Pokemon, the moves it has. Usually priority moves like Extreme Speed and Sucker Punch would help fight these hard-hitting Pokemon, or Fake Out to stall the timer of the Trick Room. But with Farigiraf's Armor Tail ability, this makes it infinitely harder. Well, since we only have a one-turn window, let's discuss what can we do with that crucial one turn. To prevent the Farigiraf from setting up Trick Room, we'll have to take a look at its typing first. It's weird typing. This is where it's going to play havoc on us, because it's only weak to Bug and Dark. And Incineroar is there to safeguard it with Intimidate and Fake Out. So the Dark typing is a better option, as Incineroar would give Bug types a hard time. You also want it to be a special attack, like Dark Pulse, to avoid Intimidate. I will tell you that this first strategy will work 2 out of 3 times. It will depend on the stat spread of the Farigiraf, because not everyone will run max special defense, but if they do, it can tank a hit from a max special attack Hydreigon with a Life Orb. Oh, it's also here in breakdown, yeah. Max special attack Life Orb Hydreigon with Dark Pulse, according to the calculator, says it cannot one-shot it. It can only 2-hit it for 80 to 97% on the first hit. But again, not everyone will run max special defense. Some of them will think, that's enough. I want to hit things with my Farigiraf. I want to put something on special attack. And that's probably one of the few times you can probably KO it with this strategy. Now, You can do taunt on a non-prankster Pokemon because Armor Tail will nullify priority taunt. This is not foolproof, as it will depend on the Pokemon's partner. Again, the poster boy Incineroar doing Fake Out if the Farigiraf is not holding. Also, if the Farigiraf is not holding a mental herb to shake off the taunt for one round, or for that time it gets hit by it the first time. A better option would be Sleep. Though its drawback is just kind of inaccurate. The most accurate version comes from Vivillon because of its compound eyes, its ability to make things hit for 30%, not 20%. Anyways, the math, it'll go up to around 90 to 95% accuracy. It's not foolproof, as they still have a partner, and if, again, it's Incineroar, they could hit the Vivillon with a Fake Out, or just one-shot it, seeing as it's a bug type against a fire type. A lot of people in forums point out to Tinkaton because it's one of the only few Pokemons with Mold Breaker that can learn Fake Out. Mold Breaker ignores the opponent's abilities when attacking, so Tinkaton will ignore Armor Tail, making it the only Fake Out to work against a Farigiraf. This is effectively a measuring stick to see how green the Trick Room player is, because seasoned players know of Tinkaton. Again, I told you, it's the only Pokemon that has Mold Breaker and can learn Fake Out. So, seasoned players would study their weaknesses and would probably direct their Incineroar to Fake It Out, or would have some other counter if they see you have a Tinkaton on your team. Which leads to our, in my opinion, our best strategy. Because until Pokemon Champions adds a stronger Pokemon that can surely one-shot a Farigiraf, our best strat is to cancel the Trick Room by forcibly switching out the Farigiraf. Since Trick Room is always last because of its negative priority, negative 7 priority, moves like Roar and Dragon Tail are perfect for this. They are also negative priority, but it's negative 6, so the order is higher priority moves, normal attacks, Roar or Dragon Tail, then Trick Room. So this will work in a pinch. And forcibly switch out the Farigiraf before it can set up a Trick Room. This will buy you time, but it's kind of a great buy of time, as this messes up with the opponent's lineup, and they will usually have to scramble to figure something out, especially with slower Pokemon. Though I have to point out the weakness of this. It is a negative priority 6 move, so its partner, if it can figure out that your plan is to use Roar or Dragon Tail, it can direct its partner to mess with your designated counter. Again, poster child Incineroar, he might Fake Out the designated counter. So this is why I would recommend you to find a Pokemon with Inner Focus. Inner Focus makes the Pokemon immune to flinching, as well as immune to Intimidate. So that's roughly half of Incineroar's kit already that this Pokemon will be immune to. So we have like a couple of winners here. We have Dragonite for Dragon Tail and Lucario for Roar. So these are good examples. You can find other Pokemon or come up with other combinations you can mix to defeat the Farigiraf. Unfortunately, I know there's Whirlwind, but unfortunately, Crobat is the only Whirlwind user that has Inner Focus, and as of August 2026, Crobat is still not in Pokemon Champions yet. So that option is not available yet. Anyways, that is all the info I can provide about Farigiraf. Hopefully, this will improve your matchup against it.